aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roads.
Hey, look what I have here. It's a book press. Maybe I should focus on this. There. I made a book press. I made it. I've been scouring the interwebs as to how to make one that would satisfy the needs that my lovely wife has. She has gotten into making books. Well, she's been doing it for a while, but she's always relied on other means, and she saw an antique book press. You're looking at one right now. And I thought, wow, that would be terrific. I'll just run down to my antique surplus store and I'm sure I'll find one. Well, no such luck here in the Waco area. I'd probably have to go to some antique store somewhere up in Dallas or down in Austin or San Antonio or one of the bigger areas. And I didn't want to do that. So I started looking on Etsy, eBay. I avoid Facebook Marketplace. I try to avoid Facebook at all costs. Maybe that's for another video. Anyway, and I just didn't have $2,000 I could whip out of my wallet. Now, my wife is completely worth it. And if I found one that I could actually put my hands on, and even if it was a couple of $1,000s, I'd get it. Just because it would be kind of cool. These things are very cool. There's just not that available. And she's in the middle of a book right now. She's making for one of the kids in the family. So, and then she's got two other projects. She's got a book that I think it's her grand uncle was writing or wrote a story, and so she's going to put it in a bound form, which is very cool. I keep checking focus because I think the last video I did was out of focus and it was irritating. And then the second book project is an old book that her grandmother or maybe her great-grandmother had, one of those first edition things from the 1800s, and the binding's all coming off. So she was going to try to repair it, but a book press would come in handy. So I built one for her so she can get right to work. I didn't video what I did because, well, I was right in the throes of it and wanted to get something that she could use right away. But she's not using it right now, so I'm gonna make some improvements to it because it was just kind of half finished. And I've got some ideas how to finish this. But before I do that, let me disassemble this a little bit and I'll show you what I did. Now it's actually really quite simple. I had some plywood, 3/4 inch plywood. If you remember, a couple of years ago, I built a Murphy bed.
Murphy.
And I had some leftover lumber from that. There it is. And 3/4 inch seemed to be, and because it's, plywood, it's cross ply and it's probably going to resist warpage as long as I keep it dry. So I thought I'd just cut it down. I made this one is 12 inches this way and 14 inches this way, and I thought that'd be perfect. It should be perfect. And then I went with F clamps, which these I sourced. I'll leave a link down below. They're only like $3 a piece. They're the 6-inch version, and I went with that because I don't think I'm going to make a book that's 4 inches thick, at least not now. And if I do, I'll just get bigger clamps and put it in here. I went with 4 clamps. I've seen a lot of makers make this with one F clamp that they come in from here, they slide it in, and it presses pretty close to the center. I opted not to do that because it would, even though it's pressing in the center, it would be fairly flat. It was still too small. So this is 12 by, 12 by 14, which gives me a surface area, and you'll see here in just a second, a surface area of about 11 by 12. So I can do a pretty good sized book If you're interested in a little more detail on how I built this thing, leave me a comment down below. And if there's enough interest, I might go through my next iteration of this, because I think I'm going to build another one. I've got some different ideas using the same concepts, but hopefully a little more refined. But leave me a comment below. Let me undo this here real quick. I'll pull this off. Now there's a trick to getting this off, and I'll show you what that is in a minute. Unfortunately, here, let me get you close up. I had a major tear out. That's the problem with plywood, and the way that I approached this was not very good, but I put a slit in, and the next version of this that I do, I'm going to do a little better, promise. But I put a slit in, and it's just the right size for the bar to go in there, and both of those pieces of plywood were clamped together, drilled, slotted, and I'm sorry about the mess. I was in a hurry. But so they match, and there's only one way for these things to match. I tried to go corner to corner as best I could, and I came pretty close. But that's so anyway, there's two pieces here, and I can sandwich anything I want in there. Let me give you a demo of that. Let me slide this back through here. Today what I'm going to do is find a way to fasten this part to the wood, so it can come out if I want it to, but it won't just plop out when I release tension on there. Anyway, this goes back on here. Takes a minute to line up. I'm gonna unscrew, tension, release. Now some people have an aversion to 4 clamps. Frankly, I didn't want the screws with the wing nuts. I just felt I'm not going to get a good, not a lot of good clamping pressure doing it that way. All right, I'm going to take a piece of this cardboard, which is kind of, you know, it's in need of flattening. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fold it in half. I'm just gonna lift this guy up. I'm gonna put it in there, put it down in, push that down, push that down, push that down, push that down, and then give it a squeeze and a squeeze and a squeeze and a squeeze. And what I also might do is put some material, maybe another couple of pieces of wood in there, so that that's actually the wood that's pressing and not this. So I don't know. There's a lot of theories on it. It's not steel, and I might put plates of aluminum or something down there, but at least it's a good start. And then if it's in there for any length of time, it'll flatten the paper out real good, I think. Should do the job. I think what I'm going to do for now is pull that guy out. Oh, before I go any further, let me show you how I got this nib off. Just like that. Just grind the heck out of it. Now the top part of the F-clamp has this little rubber thing. I don't think I really need that, but I am going to save it just in case. The good thing about a clamp is we can just clamp it on here. And I'm going to take a drill. There you go. And then I'm going to put a hole right here that this screw will go in, and it'll go into the wood, and it'll hopefully keep this thing from popping out. Let's see if I can get this in here. Ready?
That's all, folks.
Well, there you go. Snap that off. That wasn't very smart, was it? Well, you live and learn. I think that's what my dad used to say. You live and learn. Oops, let's go this way. Okay, let's see if we can reverse and come out slowly, slowly. Well, I managed to salvage the bit. That's good. At least the sharp end. Ooh, that got pretty hot. This is going to be yet another problem. This metal is a little tougher than I thought. Word to the wise. Oh, wait. Can you see that? Yeah, that doesn't look good. Okay, we're going to go with a 9/64 bit and run the risk of breaking it. Oh yeah, that'll go in there much better. Okay. That's one. I'll do the other three. Let's clean this up. I believe this to be the top. Huh. I think. Yes. So now I'll assemble it. I think what I'll do is I'm going to get all the clamps put in, clamp it down, and then flip it around and then put the screw in. This was the snug fit one. Oh, this was the snug fit one. I just may fix this right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. These are in. I can flip it around. Okay. These babies will go right in there. I'm excited. Let me get a thing. And in case you're wondering, it's a red number thing. And I'm gonna... I think these screws are less than 3/4 inch. Boy, won't that be a hoot? Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, last one. Now the whole purpose of this, again, is so that when I take the top part of the clamp off, the bottom board won't flop around. It'll stay attached to the feet. I'm also going to put little rubber feet on this so that it won't mar the workstation that my lovely wife is using. Oh my. I am quite happy with that. Yes. Now, when I take this and do that, everything is still clamped to the bottom. There you go. And it doesn't, the bottom doesn't flop around, doesn't go up and down either. And that'll go in just like that. All right, let me get the rubber feet vinyl pads. I'll put a link down below if I can find these little bumper things. Little pieces of rubber. They're adhesive. They should stick on to the bottom of this clamp. I hope. Let's see. All right. Hopefully this is flat enough. And I can take that out. Go like that. And stick that right there. Is that going to stay? Oh, man. No sticky. And it could be because of oils on this thing. Hang on, let me get some alcohol. Why use alcohol when you got carb cleaner? That ought to work pretty good. I'm going to give it a try. See what happens. I'm not going to go directly on there, of course. I'll put it on the cloth first, and whew, boy, that gives you a whiff, doesn't it? Yikes, dude. Let's get them all. Here, let's back up just a little bit so you can see the carnage in action. That should take oil off, right? That's what it's designed for. Maybe it just needs to go right there. Oh, that's better. Oh yeah, stuck. If you don't have any of this, get yourself some. I'll put a link down below. Takes grease right off. Peel that off. I'll put it right there. That looks like a good spot. Same thing on this one. Right there. Right there. Look at that. There you go. Now, if that doesn't work, I will try something else. But I think, ooh, man, the fumes. Here, take a whiff. Just smell the gum out, guys. Smell the gum out. Ooh. Yikes, it's coming down again. And it's coming in sideways. That's a lot of rain. Too much for that thing.
Tornado Watch 198 in effect until 8 p.m. this evening.
Use our Amazon link down below. When you do, it helps us out and it doesn't cost you a penny more. And after using the link, save it to your bookmarks so you can have easy access to it in the future. Thank you.
That gum out takes you out of focus real quick. I like it. It's sturdy. It's got little rubber feety, so it won't mar things. I'm gonna give this back to Shooting Gal because she's about ready to use this. I am gonna get this banded real wood veneer edging and put it along the edges so that it looks a little better. I'm gonna stain the top and I'm gonna water seal the insides. I won't stain the inside obviously because I don't want to, screw up the book cover or whatever she's working on. We'll see how it works, just wood, and if it's water preserved, that could be good enough, just as long as it doesn't transfer to the other thing. We'll save that for next time. I'll show you the finished product after I get the binding on and everything else, and maybe I'll even show you the book. That's all we got. I'll see you on the next one.